Good afternoon and good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and Coffee Stream episode 353. And look at me, this time I made sure everything was plugged in and I made sure I was unmuted and everything is working just the way it should today. I'm even going to unpause and make sure that I'm actually speaking the truth here. Oh, yes, I hear myself. So I would like to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody in the States today. I hope that you are able to celebrate with as many people as possible. I hope you have amazing food, and I hope you guys have some good drinks and some good family time with as little drama as possible. That's always important, especially right now because, we haven't been able to, see our family very much and everybody is, we kind of been isolated for ourselves from our families and stuff. So I hope everybody's gonna have a great day. Hello to Grillin' Pirate Pete, who says the turkey's in the roaster with yams, onions. What does he say? Have a happy Thanksgiving. The turkey's in the roaster with onions, yams, and potatoes. It is another couple of hours before I make the cheesy corn and peas. Ooh. Then he says, "Hello, BP, looking beautiful as usual." Oh, thank you, Mr. Pirate Pete. And good morning, trucking with a tablet. I hope you're doing all right today, and that hopefully you don't have to be driving today. Um, so you can be spending it with your family. Um, so I've got a lot of news between myself and Pincalo just sent me an article just before I went live. So we should be good, and hopefully my voice will hold out. I'm doing a bit better today than I was yesterday. Um, Still trying to I'm still getting rid of all the congestion. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. Um, but I think I should be okay. So we will be doing some news and some fun things today. If you guys could like and share the stream, get some more people in here, that would be awesome. So what we're gonna do first, we're gonna go and grab Pincalo's link that he sent me and read that one first, and then we'll go into the ones that I grabbed from Google News. So let's take a look here. Okay. Where's the link here? Here it is. Let's see here. All right, let's share the screen. So this one is about Dustin Diamond, the Saved by the Bell. I think wasn't he Screech? He was either I think he was either Screech or Slater. I can't remember who Dustin Diamond was. It will tell me in the article, or one of you will go, "Duh, Blind Press." Trying to get home 10 hours away. Oh, that sucks, dude. I'm sorry. That's rough. So, Saved by the Bell star Dustin Diamond excluded from reboot for financial reasons. Oh boy. Okay. Let's see here. Let's turn up the volume. Here we go. Okay. Here we go.
Financial reasons prevented Dustin Diamond from being part of the reboot of beloved TV comedy Saved by the Bell. The new episodes of the series, which launch on Wednesday via streaming site Peacock, features most of the original cast members from the show, which aired for 5 seasons between 1989 and 1992. You are currently on
Yep, so even when I was watching it, it was reruns.
YouTube video. Group Saved by the Bell cast fat and up. But Diamond, who portrayed Screech on TV,
I knew
will
it.
not be featured on the reboot, and co-star Lark Voorhees, who played Lisa Turtle on the show, reveals the decision had to do with money. Chrome had
What, he wanted too much?
the almighty dollar rules on that, she told Toronto's The Roz and Mocha Show. They do have a segment in there that explains why he's not here. He wants to be paid and respected. We would love for him to come back on set.
He wants to be paid and respected. What's... Hey, Gunny. I was right. So, hi, Gunny. So, yeah, it's... That's really... Wow, okay.
YouTube video. Group. Saved by the Bell is back with End Up. YouTube unmute video button. He's going through. The actress also noted that hope is not entirely lost, that the show's producers can come to an agreement with Diamond when it comes to future episodes. He's going through his adult issues and all of this, but I am sure he'll be back. You are currently on it.
He's going through his adult issues and all of this, but he will be back. What the fuck does that even mean? Why are you guys being so shady? Did my Discord sync a bit? A little bit. All that news on Discord is awesome. Poor Screech, says Check Your Logic. Yes, exactly. Poor Screech.
Diamond and Voorhees original castmates Mark Paul Gosselaar, Mario Lopez, Elizabeth Berkley, and Tiffany Thiessen all appear on the new incarnation of the show. You are currently on a YouTube video.
Why is there so many
New Saved by the
YouTube?
Bell kids hooked and up. Unmute video link. View on Toronto Sun.
Okay, so that's the story. So Pincalo said in DMs, he goes, I smell some bullshit. Well, you know what? I'm with him on this. I smell some bullshit too. He's going through his adult issues and all that. They're probably mad at him because of his tell-all book. Probably. I think it is their way of saying they don't want anyone who made a Paul. Oh, I think it is their way of saying they don't want someone who made a porn involved in their family-friendly reboot. My dad, who's a Dem, voted for Trump. That's funny. I'm roboting. Am I roboting? How badly am I roboting? I don't get any roboting on my end. Maybe it's... I hope it's not your internet. So that's that. That's what Pincalo sent me. And now I'm going to jump over into the stories that I have collected. All right. So, and remember guys, please consider going to blindpress.net and either purchasing some merch or leaving a donation, whichever you prefer. So I found this article just before I went live. It's a Huffington Post article, but it still caught my eye. So we're going to take a look here. We're going to share the screen. There we go. Share audio. There we go. just in case. I always share audio just in case. Oh, I was a little bit. Okay. I'm using Starlink now from SpaceX, so it's in closed beta. Oh, cool. I'm not roboting. Okay. It's just you, Gunny. So, this article, apparently in BC, there was a 6th grade project where you had to write an essay about the positives of residential schools, which, wow. So let's take a look here at this, if we can. If it's going to let me. Oh, HuffPost, why are you so horrible? You and your ads. Okay. BC parents slam grade 6 essay focused on residential school positives. Krista McInnes says she was reduced to tears while helping her daughter write her essay. Well, that's not a very adult response. I'm sorry. If you can be upset with a project, you can not agree with what your kid is being taught, but to burst into tears about it, like, what does that teach your kid? I'm sorry. No. You can be. I'm not scrolling. Pinkalo has just burst into the house screaming, "Don't scroll, don't scroll."
Place your bets. Ethnicity of the woman.
Her name is McInnes, so
She could be a Scottish Indian.
a Scottish feather Indian. So, right. What was I gonna do? Okay, here we go.
Okay, hold on. Trucking with the tablet. Okay, for the Americans out there that do not know what a residential school is, think of a private school only for natives, but where the nuns are government mandated.
Where you're not allowed to do anything native. Like, at all. Like, no native culture, no native languages, no, nothing. You must become a white person. And you will be beaten if you do not. And starved. And, like, it has been established very well that the residential school system.
I was gonna say, you're gonna stop at beaten,
starved,
whipped,
raped,
sodomized.
Like,
your grandmother had
my grandmother's mother was was forced to live in a residential school. It's really, like, it's been established that these were not a positive part of our history. So for a grade 6 class to be forced to write an essay about the positives of residential schools, I definitely would not be happy if my kids had to write that essay. Would I cry? No. I would be like, okay, you're not going to write this, and I'm going to be writing a letter to your school, and I'm going to be talking to your, and I would, teach them about the residential school, teach them about the residential schools. And I might actually seriously consider pulling my kid out of that school. But I would not sit there and burst into tears as this woman says that she did. Okay, let's read the article.
Abbotsford, BC, a school superintendent in British Columbia is apologizing to an Indigenous mother who pointed out a homework assignment that asked students to find positive experiences with residential schools.
An Indigenous mother, huh? Okay.
Krista McInnes says she was reduced to tears when her daughter asked for help on the grade 6 assignment from William A. Fraser Middle School in Abbotsford. McInnes says she asked her daughter to erase the work she had done, which included the web address for a blog post entitled Balancing the Biased Genocide Story about residential schools.
Oh, God.
Canada's Truth and Reconciliation Commission detailed how the residential school system played a central role in perpetrating cultural genocide against Indigenous people. You are currently...
It. First of all, you shouldn't really have blog posts as your sources. Those are tertiary sources at best. And why is nobody teaching like, I learned how to source starting in grade 6. You learn how to, well, at least back in the 90s, you started learning how to write bibliographies in grade 6. But balancing the bias in the story of wow. That's pretty wow. Okay.
Heading level 3.
Why?
Homework is a McInnes says she's since heard from the superintendent of the Abbotsford School District, Kevin Godden, who told her as a person of color he was outraged by
Because
the
it's
assignment
making
her
me
daughter
agree with
received.
a tribulating word salad that I don't want to agree with, but it's on a subject that I can't fucking stand from a province that is so backwards ass retarded that it needs to be dropped into the fucking ocean. Does that explain it?
Yes. As a person of color, you were outraged. How could you? You're the superintendent. How could you? Oh, God. How could you not know about stuff like this? Yeah. This is... The 90s were evil. The 90s were great. Schools are so dumbed down, says Gunfox. They don't teach anything but white people are racists. You know what? I'm starting to learn that, and I am honestly, like, I'm kind of glad that I have access to the things that my oldest is learning about, like, via digital stuff, because I very much worry, especially as he goes into the higher grades, of what they're going to be teaching, right? Especially now. I am very worried about what they're going to be trying to teach. And are Pink Hollow and I going to have to sit there and unteach and reteach? You know what I mean? Like, it's worrisome.
In a statement, Godden said the homework is a disservice to the district's commitment to truth and reconciliation.
It is a disservice.
No, it shouldn't be considered unteaching.
Chrome has...
It's just a balance. It's a correction.
That's
all
true.
it is. It's a correction and clarification. Because if you pay attention to what most of the teachers are, because don't forget the Ontario Federations of blah, 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 and cunts, is nothing but lefty fucking narrative driving white people.
Yep.
And that use... I'm not going to use the word that they use to describe individuals that are on the right that are conservative. However, if the people that are involved in a lot of this that feel that they are oppressed were to look into the mirror and actually see that they're not really oppressed in a first world fucking country, it would be different. But the problem is that the lefty teachers out there want a virtue signal and they want our children to grow up and be that way. The 90s were the peak of equality. That's all I'm going to say. And yeah, people are Rodney King. Rodney King was a drug addict.
Yep.
There, I said it.
Common Core and No Child Left Behind. Oh, so great. Yeah. Yeah. They are disingenuous. Yep. Yep. 90s were the best. Yep. They were. They were the best.
We are deeply sorry for any harm caused to the parents, students, families, and the Indigenous community at large. You are correct.
You're sorry? Well, why is the assignment not gone from the curriculum?
McInnes says she's heard from the school's principal, who told her he has spoken with the teacher responsible for the assignment and they would both like to apologize to the mother and her daughter.
That's it?
No, you didn't do it right. It's we're sorry.
Jesus Christ. That's all? That's it?
I'm disgusted that this could even be something that would fall in the hands of an 11-year-old child,
Yeah.
McInnes said in an interview.
Yeah. Like, there's an interesting moral debate you can have at, the university level or maybe the grade 12 level, right? But 11? No. No. I would be very pissed off about that. Like, that's not okay.
I haven't even gotten a chance to go into detail with her about how horrendous residential schools were.
Well,
You are currently
yeah.
on attack heading level 3. List 4 items.
Because she's 11.
Bullet link, bullet link, bullet link, bullet. 4. End of. The district. Godin said the school. McInnes posted her reaction to the assignment on the social media platform TikTok in a video that since racked up tens of thousands of views. Godin said the school district's Indigenous Education Department works to help teachers infuse Indigenous knowledge and perspectives into the classroom.
They need. Well, apparently this district needs that, but I was gonna say you need to be trained by Indigenous people on how to infuse Indigenous. Oh God.
The district is committed to ensuring all materials provided to students are culturally responsive and recognize its responsibility to alert educators to racism and implicit bias, he said.
Okay, I'm not sure I agree with that. Because doesn't that just seem a little bit redundant? Like, why do we need this? What? Why? Why do we need this? Yeah, they're sorry they got caught. I agree, Pete. I agree.
Education Minister Rob Fleming said the ministry contacted the school district when the assignment was brought to its attention. True reconciliation requires all of us to acknowledge the history and pain of this dark and shameful period in our history, which is now a critically important part of today's BC school curriculum, he said in a statement. You are currently...
Yeah, you need to learn about it, but, like, this is hard. It's a hard thing to do, because you need to learn about it, right? But sitting there going, what were the here, 11-year-olds, what were the positives of the residential school system? It's like, ugh.
Any teachings that detract or dismiss the realities of residential schools have no place in our education system. This report by the Canadian Press was first published November.
So yeah, that was
text
like
element.
the story that I found just before I went live. But yeah, that's just not a good assignment for a 6th grader. Ugh. The 80s were awesome because I was a child, says Gostin. I was born in, like, the last year of the 80s, so... Okay, let's see here. Next story. Oh, yeah. So somebody asked me in chat if I had heard about this yesterday, and I hadn't, but I found the story that covers it, about Justin Trudeau being pranked by, it turns out was a fake Greta Thunberg. So we're going to take a look at this story here. Okay. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be on the StreamYard page. Please. Thank you. Okay. You know, it would be awesome if they had the recording of the call. That would be funny. Okay, so Justin Trudeau prank called by fake Greta Thunberg. You are adults, but you act like children. Let's see here. Where is the body of the article? Oh my god. I just want the text. I don't want other freaking... There we go. Guys, lay out your newspaper pages better. Holy crap. This is horrible. Oh, they did?
We'll watch it on Sunday night.
Did you... it's a cookie thing. That's the problem. Go away. Leave me alone with the cookies. Okay. I think I found it. Yep. Here we go. Okay. I finally found it.
Article
I
content.
apologize for the long wait. Okay, here we go.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was reportedly the victim of a prank call by two Russian comedians pretending to be with climate activist Greta Thunberg. Back in January, Russian comedy duo Vladimir Kuznetsov and Alexei Stolyarov managed to speak to Trudeau for 10 minutes, during which an unidentified woman plays Thunberg. Kuznetsov and Stolyarov made the audio public this week.
Oh my god, really?
Court video shows deadly Toronto van attack. IME HTML5. Frame. Bit busy.
Do they have the audio in this?
PD1 HTML frame 4. Link. Heading level 2. More on this top article.
Why is
Chrome
this
has
laid
a new
out
window.
so fucking badly? This makes me angry. Lay out your stuff better. Okay, here we go. They've put... Here we go. Here's the text. What they've done is I'm sure you can see it. They've put like links and stuff into other places right in the middle.
In the call, the fake Thunberg told Trudeau she was concerned about a growing international crisis and anticipation of the World War, and said it's very scary. Pause. The prank call was made a few days after the Iranian government shot down Ukraine International Airlines flight PS-752, killing the 176 passengers on board, including dozens of Canadians.
Oh, yeah, that one. Bye. That flight. Okay, so they made this call just after that crash.
Yes, indeed, Trudeau responded. You are adults, but you... Yes, you are adults, but you act like children, Trudeau is scolded. We can create a world where there is a place for everyone, for white and black, Christians and Muslims, Trump and Putin, for you and me, for Boris Johnson, for Jeremy Corbyn, for Terrence and Philip, who are also known in your country.
Ha ha. Select a boy. Hello. Crap, just realized I didn't get a dessert for my Thanksgiving dinner. Oh no! That's unfortunate. How did a prankster get Trudeau's number? Who knows? Hello, Duck Dog.
Terrence and Philip are Canadian characters of the late-night comedy show South Park. Chrome has...
Yep.
No, that is exactly the right perspective, Trudeau said.
He missed that? He missed that first reference to Terrence and Philip? Oh, man.
According to The Guardian, during the call, Trudeau told the fake Thunberg that he thought her appearance at the 2019 climate march in Montreal helped spark discussion on climate change. The woman interrupts Trudeau and tells him to leave NATO. Drop your weapons, pick flowers, smile at nature, she said.
Oh my god. That's amazing. That's too funny.
I also dream of a world in which soldiers are not necessary, but we don't live in that world yet, unfortunately, Trudeau replied. After the woman mentioned the South Park characters once again, Trudeau finally suspects that something is off.
That's when it took 2 references of Terrence and Phillip for him to go, I think this is a prank. Not 1, but 2. This is the leader of my country. Good God. Oh my God.
I would be happy. I'll ask my team to try and figure out how we can connect you, he says, because I don't have their direct coordinates with me now. Fake Thunberg asks whether it is truly possible for Trudeau to introduce her to Terrence and Phillip. Wait, Terrence and Phillip, were they not in South Park? Trudeau says, I don't personally know them. I believe they are South Park parodies of Canadians.
Oh my God, you... This is the leader of Canada. This is the leader of fucking Canada. Wow. Holy crap.
Heading level 2. Edward's story continues below.
There's more?
Save frame container. End of. This advertise. Heading level 2. Article content. Prank with Prime Minister of Canada Trudeau. Stars Save the Earth number 13. YouTube. Frame.
Oh my God. Is it gonna play?
YouTube video player. Group. Link. Photo image of. Chrome has new YouTube video player. Group. Link. Photo image. Heading level 2. Link. Vaughn 222 prank. Heading level 3. 111k subscribe to channel button. Link. Prank with Prime Minister of Canada Trudeau. Stars Save the Earth number 13. Chrome has new window. Play button. You are currently on.
Oh, I wonder if that's the one. Hello. Aren't you off?
Here you go.
What's this?
Reach up by your mic and hold your mug exactly like that. That should emphasize how you're feeling right now.
Chrome has new window.
Is this gonna work?
Prime Minister Trudeau, Ms. Thunberg, please go ahead.
Hello, Greta.
Oh, hello, Prime Minister. Hello. So I won't take up much of your time. So I understand that you have a lot of work and have not so much time to
It
talk
doesn't
to
sound like
young
her at
girls.
all.
But I'm very concerned about growing international crisis and the anticipation of the Third World War. It already leads to disaster consequences. It's very scary.
Yes,
So-
indeed, and that is why in the many phone calls I've been able to have over the past week, we've talked an awful lot about the need to de-escalate, and on all sides, people want to see a reduction of tensions. That's obvious, but sometimes the compromises or the steps they'll have to take
Oh, shit,
to
that's
get
right.
to a reduction of tensions is a big step for them. So
I'm not gonna play the
trying
whole
to do
thing.
what
I just wanna
can
hear
to
the-
encourage them to actually really look at how they can be part of a movement towards peace, because we do not need this kind of conflict or these kinds of tensions to continue to escalate or even worse, to spread around the world.
You know that a lot of leaders.
Oh, you dumb. I can't listen to this. You dumb bitch. This doesn't sound at all like Greta. At all. So then he ends the call, apparently. He's polite and ends the call. So this continues on to say,
According to the BBC, Trudeau's office released a statement that said, "This is not the first prank call of a world leader. The Prime Minister determined the call was fake and promptly ended it."
it took him so long. It sounds like nothing like Greta. At least he's not Biden. Biden wants to attack Hungary and Poland as authoritarian threats because they believe in nationalism. Well, you know, Biden is I'm surprised he could even pronounce those two. I can't believe it took him that long to figure out that it wasn't actually her. That's sad. No, she doesn't. She sounds like somebody, that woman sounds like somebody in her 30s or 40s. Like, there's no attempt to make her voice sound younger or anything like that. And Greta's voice is not that deep. How could he not tell? So we're gonna switch over to some, let's see, what else, what do we have here? Oh, we have this one about the AstraZeneca vaccine. So we're going to look at this one. So there we go. It loaded finally. Okay. So apparently there was an error that AstraZeneca made, which could be a bit of an issue. So the headline here says, where is it? Where's that headline? Okay. AstraZeneca manufacturing error raises questions about vaccine study results. Well, that's an issue. This was posted yesterday. So here we go. Let's take a quick read. Let's see. Maybe he was sauced. How dare you? I'm gonna make a butter tart pie myself now, says Duck Dog. You know, that actually sounds pretty good. I'm not big into butter tarts, but a butter tart pie might actually taste pretty good. I like apple crisps and apple crumbles and stuff like that. I like blueberry pies and like peach cobblers and stuff like that, but I really don't like pumpkin pie. I'm not big into rhubarb or anything like that. Cherry pie's okay. I'm not too huge on cherry pie. My most favorite is apple. For sure. Alright, so, let's take a listen to this story about the AstraZeneca mix-up.
Oxford University posted, November. Oxford University said Wednesday some of the vials used in the trial of the AstraZeneca vaccine didn't have the right concentration, so some volunteers got a half dose. Experts are questioning the trial's early results. Data Ruvik/Reuters.
Wow. Well done.
AstraZeneca and Oxford University on Wednesday acknowledged a manufacturing error that is raising questions about preliminary results of their experimental COVID-19 vaccine.
I bet it is. Some volunteers only got a half dose. Jesus Christ.
A statement describing the error came days after the company and the university described the shots as highly effective and made no mention of why some study participants didn't receive as much vaccine in the first of 2 shots as expected.
Well done. Well done.
In a surprise, the group of volunteers that got a lower dose seemed to be much better protected than the volunteers who got 2 full doses. In the low-dose group, AstraZeneca said, the vaccine appeared to be 90% effective. In the group that got 2 full doses, the vaccine appeared to be 62% effective. Combined, the drug makers said the vaccine appeared to be 70% effective. You are currently...
That's a big difference from their preliminary release. And why on earth would the lower dose be more effective than 2 full doses? I would kill someone for a fresh strawberry pie right now. Should I point out the elliptical that's behind you? Why? Because I'm talking about pie? Hello. Or because if you guys want to make me run, it's $2 a minute. And I need to.
But the way in which the results were arrived at and reported by the companies has led to pointed questions from experts.
I would imagine so. Because that's an average of 70% effectiveness is not as anywhere close to what they said it was.
Watch vertical line the hidden play the manufacturing error in AstraZeneca's COVID-19 trial vaccine may ultimately lead to a better version, says Dr. Matthew Otten, an infectious disease specialist at Montreal's Jewish General Hospital.
Okay.
104. The partial results announced Monday are from large ongoing studies in the UK and Brazil designed to determine the optimal dose of vaccine, as well as examine safety and effectiveness. Multiple combinations and doses were tried in the volunteers. They were compared to others who were given a meningitis vaccine or a saline shot. Before they begin their research, scientists spell out all the steps they are taking and how they will analyze the results. Any deviation from that protocol can put the results in question.
Well, yeah. So now what do you do with all your preliminary results? Yes, we did. It doesn't squeak anymore, so it is $2 a minute if you guys want me to run. It does not squeak at me anymore.
None of the volunteers in the trial who received the half dose was over the age of 55, Reuters. Heading level 2. In a statement Wednesday, Oxford University said some of the vials used in the trial didn't have the right concentration of vaccine, so some volunteers got a half dose. The university's Experts say the relatively small number of people in the low-dose group makes it difficult to know if the effectiveness seen in the group is real or a statistical quirk. Some 2,741 people received a half dose of the vaccine followed by a full dose, AstraZeneca said. A total of 8,895 people received 2 full doses.
Yeah, their results are all screwed up now. Yes, on a treadmill. So the deal is that the way this works is when I do the running challenge, you guys send in a donation to blindpress.net and I jump on this thing over here. Let me move this. There's a chair behind me, but I jump on this elliptical right here and I run for it's $2 a minute. So for example, if you sent in $10, I would run for 5 minutes. Stuff like that. So that's how that works.
A laboratory technician works at the Maxence Biopharma. Another point of confusion comes from a decision to pool results from two groups of participants who received different dosing levels to reach an average 70% effectiveness, said David Salisbury, an associate fellow of the Global Health Program at the Chatham House think tank.
That doesn't seem honest. It seems like you're padding your average.
You've taken two studies for which different doses were used and come up with a composite that doesn't represent either of the doses, he said of the figure. I think many people are having trouble with that.
Yeah. Of course they are. They should.
Oxford researchers say they aren't certain and they are working to uncover the reason. You are currently on it. Heading level 2. Sarah Gilbert, one of the Oxford scientists leading the research, said the answer is probably related to providing exactly the right amount of vaccine to trigger the best immune response. You are currently on a text element.
Let's see. Hello, Scribe. I foresee you stop drop in the future. Pincalo says you would have to turn the camera towards the door slightly, so you just have to take the little stick and the camera slightly and point it so it turns it to the window. Oh, like that. Like that? Or like, which way? Like this? Yes, hello, Scribe. Yes. Happy Turkey Day to you, sir. Most pumpkin pie is actually made with Dickinson squash. Really? Murder them chicken dinosaurs. I did not know that. See, that might be why I don't like pumpkin pie, because I don't like squash.
It's the Goldilocks amount that you want, I think. Not too little and not too much. Too much could give you a poor quality response as well, she said. So you want just the right amount, and it's a bit hit and miss when you're trying to go quickly to get that perfect first time. It's the Goldilocks amount that... Details of the trial results will be published in medical journals and provided to UK regulators so they can decide whether to authorize distribution of the vaccine. Those reports will include a detailed breakdown that includes demographic and other information about who got sick in each group, and give a more complete picture of how effective the vaccine is.
I think that the AstraZeneca vaccine probably needs a little bit more time. Thankfully, there's a Moderna and what's the other one? Pfizer. There's a Pfizer and a Moderna one that people can look at. But I think the AstraZeneca one needs a bit more time. So here we have an article about prehistoric Earth. All right. So let's share the screen again. I'll definitely be needing the elliptical challenge, especially when we come back from the life celebration, because there's probably going to be a lot of my uncle's favorite food, and he loved like sweets and salty stuff, so... By the way, thank you guys very much. The donations that I got last week are going to help us with fuel costs and stuff like that for the trip up. So I do thank you for that. You guys are awesome. Okay, so this is about ancient Earth had a thick toxic atmosphere like Venus until it cooled off and became livable. This was published today, actually. So this is going to be an interesting little read. Acorn squash is better, says Duck Dog. I just don't like squash. It's gross. Alright, here we go.
Hugh O'Neill received funding from the Australian Research Council, grant FL 130,100,066. Heading level 3, link, image, link, Australia provides funding as a member of the Conversation AU, link, view all partners.
Okay, where is the
Republished
fucking
this
article?
Not complimentary. List 5 link. Earth is the only
There we go.
End of. Earth is the only planet we know contains life. Is our planet special? Scientists over the years have mulled over what factors are essential for, or beneficial to, life. The answers will help us identify other potentially inhabited planets elsewhere in the galaxy.
Yes.
To understand what conditions were like in Earth's early years, our research tried to recreate the chemical balance of the boiling magma ocean that covered the planet billions of years ago, and conducted experiments to see what kind of atmosphere it would have produced. Working with colleagues in France and the United States, we found Earth's first atmosphere was likely a thick, inhospitable soup of carbon dioxide and nitrogen, much like what we see on Venus today.
Oh, very interesting. Probably because of the rock vapor in the magma oceans. The only way I eat squash or turnip is if it's blended half and half with potatoes. I don't even like potatoes like that. I wonder if it's going to agree with the original concept of the primordial, when we were just bacteria and the atmosphere was tossing it around because of all the volcanic activity. Let's see here.
Read more. Link. If there is life on Venus, read more. Chrome has new window. Link. Heading level 2. A rocky planet like Earth is born through a process called accretion, in which initially small particles clump together under the pull of gravity to form larger and larger bodies. The smaller bodies, called planetesimals, look like asteroids, and the next size up are planetary embryos. There may have been many planetary embryos in the early solar system, but the only one that still survives is Mars, which is not a fully fledged planet like Earth or Venus. Heading level 5. Sign up for newsletter. The impact. The late stages of accretion involve giant impacts that release enormous amounts of energy. We think the last impact in Earth's accretion involved a Mars-sized embryo hitting the growing Earth, spinning off our moon, and melting most or all of what was left.
Yep, and that planetary embryo they are calling Theia.
The impact would have left Earth covered in a global sea of molten rock called a magma ocean. The magma ocean would have leaked hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen gases to form Earth's first atmosphere.
Yeah, that sounds plausible. There's a lot of the scientific, like National Geographic stuff that I listen to on YouTube does postulate that theory. And it's cool to see that research recreated. Crack potatoes.
Heading level 2. We wanted to know exactly what kind of atmosphere this would have been, and how it would have changed as it, and the magma ocean beneath, cooled down. The crucial thing to understand is what was happening with the element oxygen, because it controls how the other elements combine.
True.
If there was little oxygen around, the atmosphere would have been rich in hydrogen H2, ammonia and H3, and carbon monoxide, CO, gases. With abundant oxygen, it would have been made of a much friendlier mix of gases, carbon dioxide CO2, water vapor, H2O, and molecular nitrogen, N2. Read more. Link. So we needed to work out the chemistry of oxygen in the magma ocean. The key was to determine how much oxygen was chemically bonded to the element iron. If there's a lot of oxygen, it bonds to iron in a 3:2 ratio, but if there is less oxygen we see a 1:1 ratio. The actual ratio may vary between these extremes.
Okay. So basically, early planetary geology, especially trying to rediscover what it was, is basically a giant chemistry experiment. That's kind of cool.
When the magma ocean eventually cooled down, it became Earth's mantle, the layer of rock beneath the planet's crust. So we made the assumption that the oxygen-iron bonding ratios in the magma ocean would have been the same as they are in the mantle today. We have plenty of samples of the mantle, some brought to the surface by volcanic eruptions and others by tectonic processes. From these, we could work out how to put together a matching mix of chemicals in the laboratory.
Okay. Interesting.
Heading level 2. Link. File in the experiments we levitated a miniature magma ocean on a stream of gases, kept molten by the heat of a powerful laser. This allowed us to calibrate the chemical reaction between iron and oxygen in the magma and relate this to the composition of the atmosphere. IPGP, author provided. We determined this atmosphere was composed of CO2 and H2O. Nitrogen would have been in its elemental form, N2, rather than the toxic gas ammonia and H3. You are currently...
Okay, so interesting. This literally is a giant chemistry experiment. That's kind of cool. Yeah, but it's cool that they've, like, recreated it. I know this theory has been around for a while, but it's cool that they recreated the, like, it in miniature form. And it literally is just a giant chemistry experiment.
But what would have happened when the magma ocean cooled down? It seems the early Earth cooled enough for the water vapor to condense out of the atmosphere, forming oceans of liquid water like we see today. This would have left an atmosphere with 97% CO2 and 3% N2, at a total pressure roughly 70 times today's atmospheric pressure. Talk about a greenhouse effect. But the sun was... Link. Less than 3/4. As bright then as it is now.
Okay.
Heading level 2. Link. Final. Get news that's free. Independent link. You are link. CC by.
Oh, I think that might be the end of the article, but that's pretty cool to see that recreated in a miniature format. Oh no, it's not done. So it says this ratio of CO2 to N2 is strikingly like the present atmosphere on Venus. So why did Venus, not Earth, return the hellishly hot environment we see today? The answer is that Venus was too close to the sun and simply never cooled down enough to form water oceans. Instead, the H2O in the atmosphere stayed as water vapor and was inexorably lost to space. Yeah? Because as the sun ages, it gets brighter, right? So, and Venus is, I think, 26 million miles closer to the sun. I think that's how much closer it is. So yeah, this is the theory that basically states that the distance from the sun is what saved Earth from becoming a second Venus. So I just thought we'd take a quick look at that, because you know how I am about planetary stuff. I'm always into that stuff, so I figured I'd share that with you guys. And I think I've got one more story left in my voice before I give up. So we're going to look at this Star Trek story from TrekMovie.com, because I'm one of the weirdos that likes the episode Threshold from Voyager. So we're going to take a look at this article. And there's a crazy, ridiculous article that I found as well, but I'm going to save that for tomorrow because my voice is starting to give out. So we're going to read this article, and then we are going to we're going to save the rest of them for tomorrow. Okay. So maybe I should share my screen. Duh. Okay. Chrome tab. Okay. Here we go. So this is Kate Mulgrew, Robert Duncan McNeil, and Garrett Wong's reaction to the episode Threshold from Voyager. The episode that I'm referring to is the one where Tom Paris breaks the warp 10 barrier and becomes a lizard man and has lizard babies with Lizard Janeway, and they leave the lizard babies on the planet without either mother or father. And yeah, I actually like that episode. for the most part, I'm a weirdo. So I figured I would read this article cuz it, I wanted to read it. So Kate Mulgrew, Robert McNeil, and Garrett Wang revisit Threshold, the infamous Star Trek Voyager episode. Threshold Revisited. So this is posted November 25th. So yesterday. All right, here we go.
Ask a fan to name one of the worst episodes in Star Trek history, and Voyager Threshold is bound to come up almost immediately. This much maligned
Nope.
second season episode, later described by its writer Brannon Braga as, "You are currently on a link, a royal, steaming stinker."
But it was so good. I liked it. Threshold was the one where Tom Paris broke the warp 10 barrier and he started evolving into like that weird lizard human hybrid thing. So yeah, I liked. The only thing I didn't like about Threshold was that they left, like, they like, Janeway and Paris had these weird babies, and they did nothing with them. Like, there was, like, a brand new life form, and they just left it there, that they kind of created, and they just kind of left it there. They didn't do anything with it. It's like, that bothered me. But the rest of the episode, I actually liked.
Comma, is link. Action comma, is famous for what happens after Tom Paris crosses the warp 10 threshold. He transforms into a monstrous creature, then kidnaps Captain Janeway and takes her to a planet where they turn into salamanders and have babies before they are rescued and restored. There was even an link. Action figure from Playmates, complete with 3 lizard babies, described on the package as mutant offspring.
That's awesome.
Garrett Wang and Robert Duncan McNeil finally got to Threshold in the latest episode of their weekly podcast.
I need to listen to that. I really need to listen to that podcast.
Link, the Delta Flyers.
Oh, that is such a great name.
Where they are making their way through the entire series in chronological order, earlier this year. Link, McNeil told Trek Movie that while he was happy with his work on Threshold, it was the only episode he wasn't looking forward to discussing, but Wong rightly pointed out that fans likely felt the opposite. You are currently on it.
I really liked his performance in Threshold. I really did. McNeil's performance was great. What was it? How do you say I like cringe? It was a terrible episode. It was long. It was boring. What are you talking about? That's it. We're going to argue about that on the way up for sure. That's it. Road trip stream. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do a road trip stream. That's exactly what we're going to do. Prepare for it, guys. And I'll use the Streamlabs mobile, so you guys might actually be able to donate and have text-to-speech read it. So that might be interesting.
Kate Mulgrew joined the pair with some extra commentary in the Patreon-only section of the podcast to reminisce about filming her scenes and speculate on how salamanders might copulate. Here are some of the highlights of their live discussion, including the audio from the non-Patreon part of Robbie and Garrett's discussion. Heading Level 2. The award-winning makeup had its challenges. Mulgrew asked, sincerely, if the episode had won a lot of awards, and while McNeil joked that it won the award for maybe the worst episode of Star Trek Voyager ever made, it did, in fact, win an Emmy for outstanding makeup for a series, and the episode deserved it.
I bet.
From McNeil's description of filming his scenes as Tom Paris mutated, it sounds like he should have shared in that award along with Michael Westmore and his team. None of it was easy, starting with the menthol that was blown into his eyes to irritate them so they'd be bloodshot.
Oh, damn. That had to sting. That's ouch.
McNeil reported that when he filmed the scenes where he was losing his ability to breathe in Voyager's atmosphere, it triggered his sense memories of having asthma attacks. He imitated them as a way to get into the scene, but his body picked up on what he was doing and he started to have the anxiety and tightness in his chest that always accompanied his attacks, so severely that rewatching it brought back all those feelings vividly. In fact, once had an attack so severe during a different episode that they had to delay filming so he could go to the hospital.
Oh, wow.
He also said it was difficult to act once the makeup reached its peak. They had tubes that went down my legs, and they were sitting on the floor, like 3 feet away from me. Literally, they were going, blowing these bladder balloons. So all I could hear inside of the rubber, I could barely hear the actors. I looked at their lips moving. You are currently...
Wow. Now, I liked Tuvix as well, honey. I really did like Tuvix, but I also liked Threshold.
As for the horror movie type scene where Paris' tongue fell off, that tongue was made of silicone, but then they put some other jelly, red, like Jell-O, so that it looked like it was sort of just collapsing or falling apart. So I did have some red Jell-O, and I had that silicone tongue, rubber tongue,
Ugh.
to get in my mouth. It was a lot of stuff for that tongue coming out. You are currently on attack. And then for the final touch, he used an inky black mouthwash right before they filmed, so the inside of his mouth would appear black, and his real tongue would be harder to see. You
Oh,
are currently
wow.
on it.
Why your decision-making privileges are very limited. Screw you. You cannot deny that Robert McNeil and Robert Picardo did great work in this episode.
Link image. Tom Paris' tongue falls out of his mouth in the middle of a mutant rant. Chrome has new window. Heading level 2. Despite the episode's bad reputation, Robbie and Garrett had some positive opinions on it. Wong thoughtfully pointed out that there was more to the changes in Paris than what was seen on the outside as they discussed how Tom changed over the course of the series. McNeil said he came into the series embodying a lot of toxic masculinity, and Wong said this was embodied in the scene where Paris monologues from his sickbay bed. You see the vestiges of masculinity even in this scene, he said, bringing up Paris' memories of crying alone as a kid and being told crying was a weakness by his father. This is definitely a transitional phase for Paris to become more of a complete human being. Wong summed up. You are currently on a text element.
Why do you have to bring up toxic masculinity? Why couldn't you just go, this was a really interesting psychological transformation for Paris. Why do you have to make it about buzzwords? Save it for Saturday, honey. Save it for Saturday.
McNeil agreed, and admitted he relished the opportunity to stretch his acting chops. My memory of making the episode, because I got to play the Elephant Man in a way, I got to play this transformation, this larger-than-life operatic story of the entire character changing, and dying, and coming back to life, and seeing things, having this acid trip kind of revelations. My memory was, it was a lot of fun to act in, so it was really satisfying for me as an actor. You are current...
Yeah, I bet he had a lot of fun with playing that story.
Link image. Robert Duncan McNeil had to take Tom Paris where no one had gone before. Heading left, Kate Mulgrew made her Delta Flyers debut, on Patreon only, and started off joking over their choice of episodes to discuss. I was thinking about this last night as I put my little head on the pillow. Of ALL, the episodes you could ask me to join you in conversation about, of everything we did together, every conceivable adventure. Conference. Right, Threshold, the story of Lieutenant Paris and Captain Janeway having lizards. After their enthusiastic yes, she went on. I didn't think it was our finest moment, Robbie, but since we're going to be talking about it, let's extol its virtues, okay? Locked in a turbolift with Robbie McNeil is something akin to delightful alcoholism, I should think, because no aspect of it was based in reality of any kind. You are currently...
That is kind of funny. Fight on a road trip. This is just like my childhood. Yeah, and it's gonna be streamed too.
She says she had fun, not always the case for her, given the grueling schedule, and confessed that her makeup had to be reapplied many times because McNeil kept making her laugh, reporting that it was his entire modus operandi as she was trying desperately to give birth to 25 lizards. While they made fun of the episode, they all acknowledged their admiration and respect for writer Brannon Braga and director Alexander Singer. Mulgrew's theory is that the team had so much pressure on them for the first season and a half that they needed a break of sorts, and that's what they were trying to do with Threshold, but in so doing everybody lost their mind.
I bet.
Mulgrew asked where Harry was during all of this, since Ensign Kim wasn't, as McNeil thought he should be, sobbing inconsolably in sickbay as Paris suffered and died. She told Wong he must have off on her shuttlecraft, looking for the lizards that had escaped. Amidst all their laughter, McNeil said that he thought there was a grain of a really interesting science fiction idea in there, about becoming one with the universe simultaneously, describing it as kind of like an acid trip, in a way, I would imagine.
Yeah?
Frankly, I think if we're going to be very frank, I would have preferred an acid trip, Kate replied, cracking up her co-stars. That's very lofty thinking.
Oh, that's that's funny. You know what? I really do want to look up the Delta Flyers podcast. That toxic masculinity thing kind of bothered me a bit, but I could try and get past to it. Yeah, it's so we're just gonna we're so that like that's just I just thought we'd end that on a bit of a fun story. Um I am going to end this here because my throat is now kind of getting a little croaky. But I do thank you all for watching. And I do hope you guys enjoyed yourselves today. I will be on Minions tonight. I know I said that on Tuesday. I was just exhausted, but I will be on Minions tonight with Prospero and the gang, and I'll be back tomorrow with a coffee stream to cover the rest of the stories that I didn't get to today. No guest this week because I just haven't had time to pick one. And of course, look for the road trip stream on Saturday. Have a great day, guys. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. I hope you guys have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great one, bye, guys, and enjoy your food.